What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda. After Liverpool were beaten by Nottingham Forest by 1-0 at Anfield, goal came courtesy of Callum Hudson-Odoi. And look, Nottingham Forest put in a good performance and deserved their victory. My frustrations today are going to be aimed squarely at, of course, us, not the referee, not the opposition. We need to look inwardly today, and my player ratings are going to reflect that. If you haven't joined us before for a player ratings video, I'm going to go through all of the players, substitutes and manager, giving them a score out of 10. As always, asking you guys to let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and most importantly, my friends, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and of course check out the Anfield Agenda Clips channel as well. Before I get stuck into it, I got to give you a word from our sponsors. We are proudly brought to you today with thanks to our amazing sponsors at Manscaped. A reminder that you can get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide, whether it's the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra featuring Manscaped skin-safe technology, the brightest ever LED spotlight. It is waterproof as well, and unlike me, the battery lasts for a full 90 minutes. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit is also worth keeping an eye on if you are one of our bearded kings out there who I'd be very jealous of. Just a reminder once again that you can get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com by using our code Anfield20 at checkout, scanning that QR code, or just putting it in, as I said, when you're making your purchase. Thank you to Manscaped for the continued support. Right, let's get stuck into it. Start off with Allison Becker, who I actually think didn't really do anything wrong today. You can look at the goal Forest scored and maybe think he could have gotten across a bit quicker, but it was just a really good strike, and I don't want to take away from the goal scorer. So for me, I'm going to give Allison a score today of 7 out of 10. There were problems out there on that pitch, but I'm not going to start aiming any fault at Allison Becker. The problems were ahead of him. Next up, Trent AlexanderArnold. And look, before I get into Trent's performance today, I want to talk a little bit more about his body language. It's not great when you see him out there berating the referee over silly little things, like being told to move back a few yards when taking a throw in, and straight away after the game again he was up. The body language doesn't look great from Trent, and he needs to address that, because it will just lead to a narrative. It will lead to people questioning his attitude. It will lead to people questioning his future. And of course, when there's no contract extension sorted yet, these are the questions that are going to keep coming up over and over again. Performance-wise today, he just looked a little bit disjointed. When he was moved into midfield in the second half of the game when we'd fallen behind, I was hoping that he was going to be able to instigate something. Never really looked like it was happening. Those long balls that we love so much from him were a little bit off at times today, and it just didn't click for us. And like many others out there today, Trent just had a poor performance. So I'm going to give him a score of 5 out of 10. Next up, our captain, Virgil Van Dijk. And in all honesty, I don't think he really did very much wrong today. I don't really have too many criticisms of Virgil. Maybe felt he could have done a little bit better from a few of the set pieces in the opposition penalty box. But the goal, I don't think was anything to do with him. And, well, actually, I can't remember who was the pass that gave away possession for the goal. Maybe that was Virgil. So if I'm wrong on that, I apologise. But all in all, I thought he did quite well defensively. So I'm going to give Virgil today a score of 7 out of 10. His centre-back partner today, Ibrahim Konate. Like Virgil, I didn't think he did all that much wrong. Yes, there were a few little niggly challenges that give away free kicks, and you don't want to be giving away set pieces when you're playing a team like Forest who are going to come and try and live off set pieces and counter-attacks. But again, all in all, we didn't have too much to defend against today. Forest had 5 shots, I think 2 on target. And I thought Virgil Van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate did quite well. So, going to give Ibu a score of 6 today. Andy Robertson, I'm going to be honest and say I did not like the performance from Robbo today. I didn't like Costas when he came on either, and maybe this is an area where we're going to have to look to try and improve in the future if Robertson doesn't pull his socks up, because last season wasn't his greatest season. He'll admit that. This season, he hasn't exactly started like a house on fire, but today particularly, he just looked a bit blunt out there. So I'm going to give Robbo today a score of 5 out of 10. Moving into midfield now, Ryan Gravenberch, who I actually thought was probably, along with Allison, one of the few people who put in a decent shift out there, carried on his good form from before the international break and through the international break in, and I think it was more the 2 midfielders ahead of him that were the problem today rather than Ryan. opportunities again where he breaks from midfield. I really like him in this position, and I don't really want to criticise him for today's performance. So I'm going to give Gravenberch today a score of 7 out of 10, and for me it would be between him and Allison for your man of the match today. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me for Ryan. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Next up, Alexis McAllister. And look, all of us, I think, would have understood if Alexis had have been left out of the starting 11 today, maybe got some time from the bench, because he had the abductor strain away with Argentina and played 15 minutes, I think, of their second game. On top of that, obviously had a flight back from South America. And always after international breaks, Alexis seems to take a little while to get back up to speed. So there could have been a chance there for Wataru Endo to get a start today. I think it speaks to the lack of belief from the manager in Endo that he didn't get any minutes again today. Jones is coming back from an injury himself, so yeah, it's not a surprise to me, is what I'm trying to say, that McAllister wasn't the McAllister we know he's capable of being today. So with that in mind, my honest assessment of it, I'm going to give him a score of 5 out of 10. He also went down quite a bit under some soft challenges at times today as well, so I've got to be honest about that. If I'm going to call the opposition out for it, I think he could have been a bit stronger at times today. Dominic Soboslai. I liked his energy today, actually. I'm not going to say he looked fatigued or anything, but he just didn't look on it. His decision-making, his range of passing, it was just off today. And in the midfield, I do feel that it was him and McAllister who let us down more than Dominic Soboslai. So I'm going to give Mr. Dominic Soboslai today, or excuse me, more than Ryan Gravenberch, I should have said. I'm going to give Dominic Soboslai a score of 6 out of 10. The great man, Mohamed Salah. Look, he doesn't have many days like today, but today is one of those days that Mohamed is going to want to just brush off and forget about. He didn't look at it right from minute one. The effort was there. It's always there with Mo. He'll always do the running. He'll always cover the hard yards. But he was selfish at times today, unfortunately, as I believe he and us got a little bit desperate. His shots were very wayward. His touch looked a little bit off. And something that we've given him a lot of credit for, deservedly so, in recent time has been his decision making, his weight of pass and his decision when to pass. Today, all of that looked off. There was one time in the first half, on the right-hand side, he got past the Forest player, and instead of going to the byline and looking to cut it back, he decided to try and turn back, and he turned back into traffic and lost possession. I don't understand things like that. So look, today in isolation, Mo wasn't great. We know how well he started the season, and I fully expect him to be back to his best when we play Milan on Tuesday. But today, I've got to be honest with what I've seen. Not a good performance whatsoever from Mo, and I'm going to give him what I believe is a very deserving score of 5 out of 10. Lucho. Again, like Mo, no shortage of effort and endeavour, but a little bit of lack of quality today. The polished start to the season we've seen from Lucho didn't look there today. Again, always trying to cut inside. Didn't really look to take the shots on today, but never really found the right pass. And we just looked blunt and devoid of ideas. He did come close to getting a goal in the first half where a strike hit the post and came back out. But other than that, I feel like he, along with Mo and most of the team today, will think that they could have and should have done a lot better than they did. So, being honest, going to give Diaz a score today of 6 out of 10. Next up, Diogo Jota. There was a question, who will start through the centre today? I thought that maybe with Darwin Nunes staying behind at Merseyside, obviously because he's serving a 5-game international ban, Arne Slot might have worked with him and wanted to give him the chance to start today. He didn't. He went for Diogo Jota. And again, no qualms about that. Diogo started the season well. But today, again, he found himself in between two defenders in the first half. Good cross in. His shot was straight at the keeper. And it, like many others around him, it just never really fell for him today. He never looked like himself. So I'm going to give Diogo a score of 5 out of 10. Now we move on towards the substitutes. And Cody Garko, another player who maybe you could have argued today, could have gotten the start to give Diaz a bit of a rest. But like all of the substitutions that Arne Slot made today, nobody was able to come on and wrestle the initiative back in this game. And Gakpo didn't look likely to make a dent in that Forest defence, nor did any of the changes. So Cody, like everybody else today, isn't going to get too high of a score. He's going to get a score of 6 out of 10. Next up, Darwin Nunes. You'll all have your own thoughts on where Darwin's at, what the future holds for Darwin, what he needs to do. All I can say is, when he gets his opportunities, as limited as they have been at the start of this season, he's got to do better. He just has to. Today, again, he looked like he was running down blind alleys at times. And he just doesn't look like he understands what to do. Whether it's in a slot system or in the Premier League, he just doesn't look like he has confidence, belief, or that he really wants to be out there. I hope it changes. I want it to change, but there's no signs of it at this moment in time. If he gets the start against Milan, he's going to have to put in a big performance, because right now, Darwin Nunes has a lot of making up to do, a lot of fans to get back winning over. And the only way to do that is by getting your head down, knuckling down, and putting in the performances. So today, he gets a 4 because I thought he really was. And I'm not trying to add to his woes. I'm being honest. He was awful. I'm giving him a score of 4 out of 10. Next up, Conor Bradley. Again, no lack of endeavour from Conor. Got into some good positions on the right hand side. He's always going to attack the line. He's always going to try and get a cross in. But like many others who came on today, he wasn't able to impact the game in a way that made any difference. So I've got to be fair and balanced. I like Conor Bradley. I very much like Conor Bradley. But today, like those around him, it wasn't great. And I'm going to give him a score of 6 out of 10. Kostas Tsimikas, somebody who, quite frankly, I would have sold in the summer, and I think many Liverpool fans will probably agree with me there. We need to improve on that backup left-back position. Kostas wasn't the reason that today went wayward, but he was never, in my mind, going to make a difference when he came on. So I'm going to give Kostas, like many others, a lower score today of 5 out of 10. Curtis Jones, the man who was coming back from a knock that kept him out for the start of this season, or the last couple of games. Could have started today. Maybe you could have made an argument the fact that he was back training and McAllister had international minutes and a lot of flying around the world. But even when he came on, how many of us out there, realistically, be honest with me in the comments, how many people out there thought he was going to make a difference? Not many, if we're being honest. He's another player who just flatters to deceive, and his consistency of performance has just never been good enough. He goes through little patches, but he needs to put in a full season of it. He needs to put in 2 seasons of it. And for me, I'm going to join everybody in saying I don't know what he brings to the team. I don't know what he brings to the group. And I don't ever feel confident that he's going to make a difference coming off the bench. Again, I can only be honest. So for Curtis Jones, I'm giving him a score of 5 out of 10. And last up is Arne Slot. This is the first setback of his era as Liverpool manager. Losing a game at home to Nottingham Forest in the Premier League is not a fixture that we should be dropping points in. Not to try and take away the credit from Nuno Espirito Santo's side. They deserve their win. But he has to get the players to react to this. He's not going to be happy about that performance. He wasn't able to get into them at half-time and make the changes that we'd seen him do previously. So he has to react to this, and he has to make some changes ahead of the game against AC Milan. Because he tried to keep the same team. He tried to go with continuity, and he didn't get the response from the players. We can talk about his tactics as well, which of course you're free and open to do, but I'm not going to throw him under the bus for his first points dropped. It's how he reacts to this for me that's going to be important, and if you can get a response from the players. So I'm going to give Mr. Arne Slot today a score of 6 out of 10. So that brings to an end our player ratings. Now it's over to you guys to let us know your thoughts and give us your scores in the comment section. Want to say again thank you to our sponsors Manscaped. Don't forget you can get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com by using our discount code Anfield20 that you can see there on the screen. There's every opportunity that I will be back tonight at 8:45 for a late night agenda if you'd like to come and join us. Until tomorrow, if I don't see you tonight, thank you so much for your support as always. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are closing in on 275,000. We need your help to get there. Talk to you guys soon, and don't forget as well, check out the Anfield Agenda Clips channel if you get a chance. Much love, my friends. Wasn't our day today, but we got to respond to it and bounce back on Tuesday. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.